fire. It is Friday, December. Boy, we are almost wrapping up the year. Welcome everyone to the MeanDAO Community AMA. Today we have a very special guest, the one and only Mr. Arthur Cheong. He is the boss. He is the founder. He is the one calling the shots on DeFiance Capital. We're super happy to have him here. Welcome on board, Arthur.
Hi everyone, this is Arthur here. It's an honor and pleasure.
Awesome. Good to have you on board. So the way that this works, Arthur, and for your community and the people that are also participating here, that it's the first time. Every Friday we do a MeanDAO Community AMA, and usually we go through kind of some of the metrics, what has happened in the last 7 days, in different areas, on community, in the socials, in the application, kind of share some numbers around what's been going on. And then if we have a guest, we kind of go into a little bit of the back and forth. We have a conversation. What we want to make sure is that people get to know you, know what what you do for us, for the community, how we got to meet, get a little bit more on the personal touch there. And then almost always we have a ton of questions from the community that they want to ask. I'm gonna leave that to my trusted group of ambassadors and mods to kind of pinpoint out a couple of the questions that are better to answer, since we have quite a large audience today. And then we'll go from there. All right, so let's get started. Let's start with some metrics. What happened this week on Discord? Let's take a look at this. Refresh this guy here. All right, it looks like, wow, this week we grew quite a bit, actually. Let's see, we are right now at 29,000 and some, so almost 30,000 members on Discord at this point. Yeah, and we grew quite a bit last week. I think that has to do. So last week we did. So this week, basically in the last 7 days, we did a couple of posts, a couple of announcements that I think kind of drove additional membership, and that those were the funding round announcement. I think went out on Monday. And there was a lot of activity around that, and then we had also Jupiter announcement that happened on Wednesday that we're partnering up with the Jupiter aggregator, and even from the weekend we did the Selenium announcement as well. So there's like three really big events that happened in the last 7 days. So we onboarded another, it says 6,000 new members, but that sounds like a little too much. So I don't know, this core metric server seemed to be a little bit wonky today. Yeah, we definitely didn't onboard 6,000 new members. But maybe I'm picking here the wrong group. Anyhow, let's see. Communications, 186 people became active, more active communicator. That's 147% compared to what we had the previous week. New member retention went up by 23.3%. That's also about 13.8% growth. So that's all great. How many members are joining? Let's see. Server leaves are at an all-time low, so meaning people are basically coming onto the server and never leaving. We have a bunch of new bans. I think that the mods and the ambassadors have been really active, kind of keeping the community in check. We had a total of 7,000 new visitors. 1,555 communications, 42,000 messages sent, and the total minutes that were spoken in all of the different chats and AMAs and stuff like that went down a little bit, went down by 13% compared to last week. But you still talk a lot, like 2,000 minutes. That's a lot of talking that you guys are doing on the server, which is freaking amazing and awesome and unbelievable. I want to highlight one of the favorite things that I saw on the server this week, and it was like a piece of art that someone posted. I forgot the name now. Where did we put that, Tariq? The one with the green Triton.
Highlight channel.
In the highlight channels, all right. In the highlight channels, let me take a look at that. Yeah, in the highlight channel, like we had the Aquaman instead of Aquaman, which looks freaking sick. That art from Max Rogue. So phenomenal work. Absolutely love it. I'm definitely going to tweet about that because it looks pretty awesome. So thank you very much for that. We're going to make sure that we highlight it and we make it more real for the rest of the community so everybody can enjoy it. All right. In the audience, this week, actually, we had a huge influx. Like most of the people that we had coming onto the server this week, interestingly, fell on the other category, meaning like it's not one of the top countries that we already have, which are so the other countries category went from 2% to 12%. So of the entire server activation, which kind of interesting. That means that there's a lot more plurality of people coming from different countries in here, which all good things. More diversity means stronger community.
So almost 30,000 members on Discord. Let's take a look at Twitter. What happened on Twitter? This past 7 days, we had 850,000 impressions over a 7-day period. Our engagement rate went up from 7.2% to 11.1%. So pretty big jump in there. A lot of engagement that we had. I think that has to do with it's got to be the announcement on the round and stuff like that. We had a really good set of investors and the community reacted very positively to that, and we brought a lot of new people into it because of it. So that's all really good. We had. These numbers are going through the roof. Just for perspective, like in the last month, we had in total accumulated 1.3 million impressions in the last 28-day period, and out of those, 850 were in the last 7 days. So like a big jump, like more than 2/3 were in the last week, or 2/3 of what happened in the last month happened in the last week from the social media standpoint, which stands to reason because we had media coverage on some major publications, and we posted those 2 long form articles. So a lot of good stuff on that end. Let me see if I can finally refresh the product metrics here. It was having a little bit of a hiccup earlier. I don't even know where. Adele, were you able to get that up and running?
I think we have some difficulties yet. But I can send you the latest.
You did? Okay. All right. Let me see. I see. All right. I see. So right now, this was from today, correct?
Just a moment ago.
Okay.
So there are metrics that are not really updated because of the difficulties on that server, but
all right, got it.
The gross number is there.
Right. All right. So right now we have, it looks like about 56,000 unique accounts on MeanFi. That is pretty insane. The active accounts, these are per hour, not per day. It's going to be hard for me to calculate that on an hourly basis. I think that's going to round up. I don't know. I'm just like eyeballing the chart here. On a daily at 300 per hour, 400 per hour. What is it, like 4,000 actives per day? I usually do the daily chart, but that's okay. Don't worry about it. So I think that right now we're probably hovering that, 4,000 to 5,000 daily actives, which I don't remember last week right now, but it was definitely below that. We have two peaks here, looks like. One peak that happened on the 30th, and that's exactly one day after we announced. Yeah, that's exactly what happened here. So the biggest peak that we had in new users coming onto the platform was 5,000 new users that showed up immediately a day after, or at least they were aggregated the day after we did the announcement for the investment. So yeah, we had a big spike in there. Then it kind of went down a little bit, and even now it's going up again. I don't know what's going on in here. Arthur, maybe you're bringing a bunch of new users to the application on this, because today it looks like it's spiking up again. So we'll see. But very good. Like, all numbers are green up and to the right, maybe except for the talking minutes, and that just means that you are typing more and talking less, which is all good. All right, I'm gonna stop babbling about metrics because I can geek out about this all day long, and this is not good for me. I already took another full 11 minutes on this. So, Adele, what happened? What happened on product and engineering this week?
Yeah, sure, of course. So during the week, we've been putting a lot of effort on our integration with the Jupiter liquidity aggregator. So that will be ultimately what powers our swaps. So we're working on that to have amazing swaps on the option. So we've been closely working with many community members to do some bug fixings and enhancing current workflows and creating new workflows for the. And last but not least, we've been working hard to prepare our IDO event, which will happen soon. I'm not gonna get into the details there, but we're gonna have an amazing IDO.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Like, and I know that some of you have already seen that in what we have prepared, but in the next like couple of days, I'm gonna go with, like, probably Monday. We're going to be announcing the details around the IDO and everything, that the way that the game is going to be played and how it's actually going to work, and the timeline, and all the details are going to come out either Monday or Tuesday. I'm not really sure yet. Depends on the marketing calendar, because we have another AMA with Solana News on Monday that they invited us there. So it kind of like depends on how things move between now and then. But next week, keep your eyes peeled. We're going to be sharing some exciting news about the IDO, about the launch in general. And yeah, just right now we're diligently working to make sure that all of that process goes smooth. We need to test and retest and super test and extra test everything, because it's the kind of thing that happens only once. So a lot of energy goes to doing that. I want to acknowledge a couple of people here before we kind of jump into chatting with you directly, Arthur. Pavel-san, Durden, Anne, Tariq, you guys have been doing amazing work. Layli Kachan, Joel. I know I'm missing a couple, but I just want to say thank you very much for keeping the community healthy, keeping the community active, keeping the community focused on our mission, and we bow to you in respect for all of your contributions. 100%. We would not be here if it was not for you. So, with that said, I think that it is time for us to open up the room and talk to Arthur. Everybody wants to hear about Arthur. Arthur, welcome to the stage. Why don't you tell the audience who you are, how do you came to be here, and we'll kind of take it from there.
Hi, everyone. this is Arthur from DeFiance. So I've started DeFiance Capital back in late 2020. DeFiance Capital is a DeFi-focused crypto venture investment fund. Although recently that we have been very active in crypto gaming related investment as well, but by and large we are still a crypto funds that focus a lot on the DeFi area. And myself, I was basically a DeFi ground zero participant. Was starting getting involved in DeFi around late 2019 to late 2018, and basically participate in the entire DeFi journey from 2019 to 2020, where we had the DeFi summer, where DeFi really kind of go mainstream.
Very cool.
DeFiance Capital has invested in a lot of the DeFi stuff, the major one being DeFiDX, Aave, and a lot of others. But yeah, that's roughly a brief intro.
Very cool. Let me ask you, because I don't think I actually even know that myself. When you decided that, hey, this is something that I want to really jump in, what was that process? What was your previous background, your previous life that allowed you to have this kind of vision that this is what I want to do? I want to jump into this with all of my my focus and my intensity, and I want to partake in it, because I mean you jumped in very early in the whole process. So I mean something had to get you ready mentally to have the conviction that this is the future and I want to be part of it that early on.
So I think I'll try to make it as concise as possible. But I think initially, back in 2017, I will admit that I think I was definitely attracted by the potential return, because I think 2017 was the year that Ethereum did 100x in a very short amount of time. It went to below $10 to a few $100 in 2017, and I think that got a lot of the cast of 2017 crypto people in. But I'm always more of a fundamental investing guy. I mean, it's not something I want to share too much, but in fact, if you go YouTube and search for my name, you can search there's a video done on 2013 by some of the local media. I was basically started investing in 2010 when I was still in university. So I was always a very fundamental guy. And when it comes to crypto, I focus a lot on what's the use cases and what's the fundamentals. And 2017 and 18, there was a lot of ICO going on. I obviously invested in some of them, but most of them did not work out. And then we have the bear market. And the biggest question I asked myself on whether should I just pull out from this sector or continue to invest and potentially go full-time is, can we actually find some real use cases? And after some soul searching and looking at the actual usage and data, my conclusion was finance is the most obvious and likely the biggest use case for crypto and blockchain. Simply because I think Bitcoin started the revolution as the decentralized money. But if you do not have a decentralized financial system to support a decentralized money, the usage of the decentralized money will be very limited. And this whole crypto ecosystem will not really take off in a very major way. So that kind of slowly built my thesis on DeFi. And also with the emergence of stable coins, I think this is one of the big missing pieces during the 2017 and 18s, and you can kind of see this stablecoin thing start to take off in 2018 and 19. And then I think that this whole stablecoin payment thing is just gonna replace so many of the traditional payment rails. As a venture fund, I would say almost 99% of our investment are done by stablecoin right now. And we hate to do a fiat wire because it's so troublesome, and we need to confirm again with So it's just a firm belief, and obviously when you see the innovation that's happening in the space, comparing to traditional finance and fintech, it's just happening in a way faster pace. I think there's when you're fairly knowledgeable about what's happening in the traditional finance and even the fintech side, you kind of realize how powerful DeFi is. Yeah, so that kind of lead to the whole increase in conviction of DeFi, and that lead me to quitting my job to embrace this sector full time. And then with my track record and success, then I founded DeFiance Capital.
Very nice, very nice, very nice. That's an awesome story. That's an awesome story. So, you guys right now, you have to be like one of the most influential and bigger crypto funds, at least in Solana. You're certainly like top three. I don't know, like in like the rest of the other ecosystem, because you have investments all over the place. How do you decide, like, what is your thesis around Solana projects and DeFi and versus other chains? Like, how do you guys look at the overall cross-chain ecosystem in that light?
So yeah, that was a very good question. Also, there's a kind of funny stories. I just share a little bit. So actually, I learned about Solana very early on because I went to San Francisco for the blockchain week back in 2019, late 2019, and Solana was basically one of the few ICO bubble survivor back then that was still actively trying to build and get people to learn about them. So actually, a lot of the project back then have already thrown in the towel because it's a bear market.
Right. This is what 2019, right? So like very early in Solana. Solana is not even in the spectrum of a top 10 project.
Yeah. So I actually went to the conference and Solana hosted a talk. I went there. And actually, I talked to a lot of the Solana team members there before, but I did not invest in Solana because I was always there was a lot of talk on 2018 about the monetary premium, and actually most of these criticism are leveled against ETH, saying that ETH is useless as a token because you do not actually need to hold ETH to use the Ethereum blockchain. You can only need to hold a small amount of ETH, and that point of time, my view was very influenced by this whole value accrual of the token thing. So although I think Solana have a very good technology, I did not think that the token will be able to accrue the value and benefit that much from the success of the platform. Obviously, I was very wrong.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, I always pay attention to Solana. I like the design architecture they are going for. I think it makes a lot of sense. And it comes with a slight sacrifice of the decentralization, but I think that in exchange they achieve a much higher level of performance and scalability. So I always been paying attention to Solana. So what really changed my mind to start investing in Solana was actually, I think, Q1 this year, where we see the success of BSC, and after that Polygon as well. So I think the success of Binance Smart Chain actually took us by surprise, because I think we also underestimated how fast the newcomers are coming into the crypto space. So Binance Smart Chain has been able to attract, I think, up to more than 1 million of daily active users, which is come as a huge surprise to me, because that was done in a very short amount of time. But I think there's no BSC or Binance people here, but when we look at the Binance Smart Chain architecture, we don't think it's a very scalable way to run it, because they are just inheriting all the technical debt of Ethereum. And I don't see there's a viable way to improve it while still staying decentralized. I would say most people agree with me that even right now BSC are not very decentralized, and I don't see a very viable way towards decentralization. So at that point of time, we were looking, okay, so there was obviously a lot of new joiner coming in. What other blockchain accommodate this? So after the research, our answer is Solana. So I think around Q1 this year, I start to build the conviction of Solana, and we start actively investing and playing a catch up. So I would say the top few crypto funds in Solana ecosystem are definitely the Alameda, FTX, and Multicoin, Sino Global, and there's a few others, but we are playing a catch up, and I think right now we are doing quite well.
Yeah, I agree. Awesome. Yeah, the yesterday or the day before, I read a tweet. I don't remember who posted it, but someone tweeted something to the tune of, I think Solana is to crypto what Solana is the iPhone moment for crypto. Like, it is that that moment where people realize, oh shit, it turns out that I don't need a keyboard. Oh shit, it turns out that I can actually have a really sexy looking phone that works 100% of the times. That I like, all like that iPhone moment when it came out, that just changed the whole spectrum of the smartphone industry. Like, that's what Solana is for the rest of the blockchain and the crypto ecosystem in general. And I think they're actually right. I like that analogy. It feels like that, and it's certainly like even the user experiences that of the apps that are developed today in Solana are far superior to most of the other ones that you find in Ethereum, and we are a lot younger in general. So it's kind of interesting to see that how that has evolved.
Yeah, another analogy I would like a lot is basically the upgrade from a dial-up modem to a broadband. I get most of the people who are more than 30 years old will remember how the internet connection will just get disrupted if any phone call coming when you are using a dial-up modem.
Yeah, very nice. I like it. I like that one too. That's a good one. Yeah, awesome. All right, so I think that probably one of the most one of the things that our community in particular would like to know is like, how do we even get to meet each other? Like, what was how, we were basically we went from like nobody knows us to right now we are like a popular kid in Solana, but like somewhere in between our paths crossed here. Like, do you recall how that happened, and how did the two of us in particular met later? Like, what can you tell our audience about the whole experience, and also why did you invest in us?
Sure. So I think actually you guys did reach out to the DeFiance Capital Twitter. But I guess it was flooded among the sea of DM that we got. After that, it was through a warm intro by one of the other investors that also invest in this latest round. I think it's Sky Vision.
Yep.
So yeah, after the warm intro by them, then we get to start talking. And after that, our team take a look at it. We really like what you guys are building. I think that you guys have the vision to bring the next billion of users into DeFi. And with Solana as an infrastructure and you guys have the application layer, we think we just like this vision, and we like that the product is already live and you guys already have fairly vibrant and active community. So I think it's just all the boxes was just ticked for us, and we like the team as well. And then after that, we met in person in Lisbon. That was a great experience. Actually, I think we met twice, right? And probably 3 times now.
Yeah, no, more. I think it was like 3 times. First in the restaurant, then on a boat. No, that's actually 2 times. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think even before we meet, we already confirmed that we're going to lead this investment. We just feel very excited. So yeah, but it's obviously great to be able to meet you and Adele and in person. So that was a great experience. I think that just further increased our conviction.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, we had a really good time in that boat. So to give you guys a little bit of perspective, like the first meeting, like we had already been talking for a while with I think our main point of contact was Bailey. That time, Bailey's from the DeFiance team. I don't know if it's here. If you are, hello, brother. Thank you very much. And we've been talking to Bailey a lot, and with some of the other DeFi analysts. And we met first in a kind of like a hole in the wall coffee shop that the server. So this is in Lisbon, and the server he was having a bad day, and he was almost like the guy didn't want to serve any food, and it was like, what do you want? It was like, oh, okay, water and a little bit of this and that, and then you guys showed up with the entire team. There was it was YJ, it was Bailey. It was how big is DeFiance right now?
We are a team of 10 right now. 6 of us went to Lisbon. Then there's 4 of us that just joined this week. Yeah. We are definitely expanding our team size. As people have noticed that our activeness have increased as well. So yeah, we want to be able to support almost all of the portfolio company and protocol we invested.
Yeah, and your support has been phenomenal. YJ and Bailey and Jacob and yourself, everybody at DeFiance have been an amazing support every time that we have had questions that we need to strategize things together. that we need to get, like all of those things. You guys are like, top of our investors, and we are eternally thankful and very appreciative for this relationship. All right. So yeah, we first met on that coffee, and then we took a boat ride. I didn't even remember if I knew that you guys were going to be on that boat. Right? That was a pretty good experience. I think we tweeted even a picture of that date and everything. Who else was there? It was you and YJ mostly, right?
Yeah, from DeFiance side, it's just me and YJ.
Yeah. And then we had other investors friends as well there. Guys from Sestirs. They're another one of our investors. I think we had Sam from Crypto Du Coin, or Journal Du Coin. And who else was there? Ben from Jupiter was there. That's when we met. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Ben was there as well. Yeah, it was a good. I remember telling telling my wife, hey, I'm going to and Adele the same, and hey, we're going to a boat with some friends and stuff like that, and everybody's like, watch out for the women, and it's like, no, it's not going to be any women in the boat. Like, why do you think that there's going to be like, a boat full of hookers or something like that? No, like, I mean, we're just hanging out in the water, like.
I don't know, man. Like your global assumption.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I guess people think that we go on a boat, and that just means we go crazy with a party. But yeah.
It's all guys. This is crypto, man. All guys.
Yeah. All guys. Yeah. So
Neil was there, bro. I think he's in this AMA as well. I saw him. Yeah, I see him around. Yeah.
Who?
Neil Keong. The footballer. He's here.
All right. Right on. Hello there. All right. So let's see here. I think this is YJ. I see YJ here. Yeah, this is YJ. All right. And let's see. Let's try to find some questions here from the audience, Arthur. We have another 8 minutes to go here. Let's see here. Tariq, can you help me out with some questions here from the audience? Oh, I see that Mylene is here. I didn't see you, Mylene. Sorry.
Some of the questions. Can you tell us a little about?
We didn't check my phone at the beginning, so I was like, maybe you guys cannot hear me well. My audio is not good. So.
Sorry. I didn't hear you. I wasn't paying attention too much to that because after we did the mic check at the beginning, I didn't see you coming.
That's fine.
All right, hold on a second. Let me see here. Tariq. Yeah, thanks.
Okay, you have a couple of questions.
Where to, Tariq?
Okay. Can you tell us a little about DeFiance Capital's future contribution to MeanFi?
All right, so I'm getting this from Discord, so I'm gonna repeat it here for the Twitter audience. Someone is asking, how do you plan on future contributions and future collaborations between DeFiance and MeanFi? What do you see as your future value add? This is a question for you, Arthur.
I think number one is definitely as a user, because I think we are one of the biggest power users out there. I know that MeanFi is meant to onboard a lot of the more like a general and mainstream user into DeFi, but I think that probably some of the function that Mean Finance decide to develop can be targeted towards a more power user group, and I think it will be a very good beta tester to use it and give some feedback on how the product should be, anything that can be improved towards the more professional user group. And second thing is obviously on the partnership level, we have invested in a lot of the Solana-based, and not just on Solana-based, some of the more general infrastructure layer project that we can definitely introduce to MeanFi when we see synergy for collaboration. Obviously I think Michelle and Adele doing a very good job at the partnership. I think more help is always good. I think another one is just capital. If there's the need for next round of fundraising, we're happy to support either investing ourselves or just bring in more other important investors as well.
Awesome. Thank you very much for that. That's a good one. Also, just to add a little bit of color in that, beyond the capital that Arthur mentioned and being able to continue to support the project, I think that the strategic side of the relationship with DeFiance is probably one of the most valuable things. You cannot put any amount of money into the power that comes from having a warm introduction to a protocol that you want to partner up with, or another partner, or a media connection, or any of those things. When you sit at the table, people look at you as a representation of the people that you surround yourself with. And us surrounding ourselves with DeFiance and with our investor pool is one of the things that is a very, very strong signal to anybody that is looking at us as to, how serious we are, how, the kind of impact of what we're doing. Like, people look at us with a very different angle and very different lens because DeFiance is on our side, right?
Gaming investment. How do you see the overlap of DeFi in projects like MeanFi and the crypto gaming arena? That's a really, really good question. How do you see the kind of the convergence or the collaboration between the crypto gaming and metaverse and the DeFi world? And how do you see that evolving? And is there is an overlap with projects like MeanDAO? Yeah, I think that he's asking what is your opinion about how these two somewhat disconnected areas, how do you see the future of those two evolving and come?
Yeah, that's a great question. And actually, I think that when you look at how this whole crypto gaming trend, it was always very intertwined with DeFi.
I think that nobody can ignore the Axie Infinity because they are the trailblazer. They are the one that started this whole crypto gaming trend. Obviously, there's a lot of other projects that are trying to build this, but I don't think anyone would disagree. Axie Infinity is the most successful so far and the one that started the trend. So Delphi Digital are the one that helped design the token economics for them. And a lot of their gameplay element have incorporated some of the lessons learned from DeFi, such as the whole play to earn model. And then after that, you have the staking involved, all this thing. So they always have a new token that use it to incentivize the community and give the community more ownership. So right now, the whole Axie Infinity ecosystem have 4 tokens. There's a SLP, there's the XX, there's also the RON, and there's also the Ronin sidechain token. So there's 4 tokens right now, and the community own a big part of it. So, and there's just I'm sure that a lot of these are heavily inspired by the mechanics of DeFi, and also incorporated this whole financial element for the whole play to earn model, right? Because the whole play to earn model is basically using DeFi to facilitate the this whole play to earn model. So it's definitely very related from the beginning. And I think that gamers, as a gamer myself, I just think that a lot of them will be interested in the native, how do I say, that the real ownership of whatever effort and work they put in on the digital asset they own, instead of sitting on some centralized server when the game closed down, all of it is gone. So I think this overlap is definitely very strong. And DeFi is the infrastructure rail to facilitate all these crypto gaming projects to grow bigger and beyond the chokehold of this centralized financial rail.
Yeah. Amen, man. That's exactly that. That's why this vision is so important. We'll be there. We'll be there to make that happen for sure. That's awesome. All right. I think that, so it is 10:40. We've kind of coming a little bit to the end. Arthur, anything that you want to tell? Let me see how many. We are 140 people on Twitter and 199 over in Discord. So I think that this is actually a record right now for us. I don't think that we have ever been this many. This high of an attendance. So you're getting the best part of our community right now. Almost 400 people. Holy smokes. That is So anything that you wanna tell back to anybody before we call the weekend welcome?
Yeah, I think that just right now we are definitely in a best moment when it comes to adoption in crypto, because we are seeing like a record amount of capital coming into the space. I think if you are really inspired by this whole crypto DeFi movement and want to build something, there's probably no better time to raise and to build because you're going to get a lot of support. Obviously, the competition is stiff, but the market is growing so fast, there's just always a lot of opportunity. So even if you just want to get involved on a part-time basis, it's also great. You don't need to quit your job immediately, but just keep looking around. There's just so much opportunity in the space for you to contribute and to also get involved. I think that's great. Even myself, I actually started from a community member in the synthetics community before I really, so-called make it big. So I think there's a lot of opportunity for everyone to get involved in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, right on. I think that those are wise words, and especially for all of our contributors. That we have a extremely active community, and super healthy and phenomenal. And a big part of that is because of the contributions that many of those key members that I dropped some names here earlier, but we have a group of ambassadors and a group of moderators that do a phenomenal job at keeping the community engaged, healthy, active, and aligned to the mission and vision of MeanDAO and MeanFi and Mean Protocol. So, I think that they right now all of them are smiling because they are seeing themselves as a like they're seeing that you are kind of, or they are a reflection of your earlier self, because you started the same way that they're starting, and they look at you now and they see how far one can get by keeping their contributions active. So phenomenal. Good stuff, guys. It is Friday. Go smell the flowers, kiss your loved ones, tell everybody how much you appreciate them. Make sure that they know that they hear you. Let's go and be mean and break every mold there. Let's keep building and keep your eyes peeled. A lot of new announcements are coming. Later today, we're going to launch the last leg of the treasure hunt. That is to open box number 5. We're going to give you guys until I think Sunday, and then on Sunday we'll open box. Next week is going to be a really, really interesting one as well. Thank you very much, Mr. Arthur, for joining us today on our AMA. Thank you to the community members, and let's fucking go!
Let's go. Thanks, Arthur.